All right, what's up everyone? Lucas here, and I'm back with another YouTube video. I've kind of been slacking with YouTube, but I hope to be a little more consistent. So I'm back with a question and answer Q&A segment here. So I took your guys' question actually, took your guys' questions actually from my email list. I sent out an email blast the other week asking for Q&A questions. So that's where these questions are from. I think I got like 12 or 13 questions. So how I'm gonna do this is I'm just going to read the questions word for word, and I'm going to say who asked the question. So in the future, if you don't want your name mentioned, say anonymous or tell me you don't want it. So I'm going to read the person's name, and if I butcher someone's name, I apologize, and then I'm going to read off the question, and I'm going to put in the comments like the timestamps for the questions, and I'll have the questions in this a text so you can read it too. But let's just get started. So the first question is from Luke Blau. Once again, if I butcher your name, you're watching this and I butcher your name, I'm sorry. I'm doing the best I can. And I also should prefix this with, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical physician. I answer all these questions to the best of my ability based off my 15 years, is it 15 years? About 15, 16 years in the fitness industry, and off my bodybuilding career and helping over 70,000 people in 70 countries. So I base this off my experience. But I'm gonna answer these questions to the best of my ability. So here we go. Luke Blau, if I miss a workout, do I pick up the next day with what I was supposed to do the day before so the whole schedule shifts a day but I don't miss a workout? Or should I skip the day's workout and make it up the following week? Luke Blau, easy answer. So you just push your schedule back a day. So if you miss a workout, I never recommend trying to combine workouts, simply because it's too much on the body, that's too much on your nervous system, that's gonna be overtraining. So if you miss a workout, and we're in the holiday season, so it's gonna be a little easier to miss a workout now, you don't freak out about it, you just push your schedule back a day. So if you miss Wednesday's workout, you would just do Thursday, on Thursday you would just do what you're supposed to do Wednesday. So don't overcomplicate it, just push everything back a day. A good question though. All right, next question is from Nelson De Jesus. Everyone talks about how to lose weight. Can you talk about how to gain weight the right way? Good question. So before I answer this though, I do want to say, if you look at my page, a lot of the transformations are weight loss transformations, clients who want to lose weight. And that's simply because that's usually the most popular, but I do offer plans for any fitness goal. Lose body fat, bulk up, just get healthier overall, so any fitness goal, but generally the most popular is weight loss. So I've had some people say, do you even do bulking diets or bulking plans? Yes, I do. It's just, most popular is weight loss. So that's why most of them on my page are weight loss and fat loss. But so the key to gaining weight is you got to do it slowly, and you got to make sure you're at the correct body fat before you start adding weight. So, just a general tip. And with these answers, I'll try to get as specific as possible. I'm gonna ramble a little bit, but without knowing a lot about the person, I'm gonna give general tips here. So a general tip is, if you can't see your abs, now you're not gonna be shredded, but if you can't see your abs, you need to cut down a little more and diet down a little more. And if you can see, before you start bulking, if you can see the outline of your abs and you're in, you don't have to be shredded, but if you can see the outline of your abs, then it's okay to start a bulking period. And how you do that, the right way to gain weight is slowly. So you just slowly add calories into your diet in the forms of carbohydrates and fats. Protein, I usually keep protein about the same whether you're cutting or bulking, but the biggest difference when you're bulking is your carb and fat intake is gonna be a little higher. And I'll also give a really good tip here that a lot of you may not know. An easy way to add calories to your diet is to add more fats. So with healthy fats, you got 3 macronutrients: protein, carbs, and fats. And with protein and carb, it's 4 calories per gram, and with fat, it's 9 calories per gram. So an easy way to add more calories to your meals and to get more calories to bulk up is to add more healthy fats in the form of peanut butter, olive oil, avocado, almonds, cashew nuts, any type of nuts, really almost any type of oil, olive oil, macadamia nut oil. So that's an easy way to add more calories and bulk up the right way. So I hope that helped you out, Nelson. All right, next one is from Luke Neal. He's got 2 questions. Well, he's really got, 2 questions. Here we go. Pros and cons of lifting first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. Should I be eating even a little something beforehand? let me answer this first question first. So the first question is, I never recommend training on a fasted or training on an empty stomach. Now you can do cardio on an empty stomach, but I never recommend weight training on an empty stomach. Reason being, you're gonna burn off muscle tissue, or at least you're gonna be at a greater risk of burning off muscle tissue. So you need to, so your muscles are made of water and glycogen, and you need to fill them up prior to training to prevent muscle loss. Glycogen is simply carbohydrate. So before your workout, unless you're on a keto diet, which I'll get into with these later questions, before your workout, I always recommend eating something. Now, a lot of people get confused because they think when you say meal, when you have a meal before you work out, they think you have to, have a gourmet 5-course meal. No, if you're training early, or if you're in a rush and don't have a lot of time, just have a protein shake and a banana, protein shake and apple, something quick like that, or even a protein bar. So I would never recommend training fasted. Although I do recommend doing cardio fasted, but not weight training fasted. And the reason being is because you're gonna risk burning off muscle if you train fasted. Good question though, and I get that a lot. Second question from Luke is tips for cheat meals and how often should I schedule a cheat meal? So with cheat meals, everyone's different. And honestly, the truth is everyone's different too because everyone's goals are different. If you're bulking, you're gonna have a cheat meal more frequently than if you're cutting, but everyone's goals are different. So if you're cutting, and I'll be honest with you guys, if you're cutting and really, really wanna see the best results, don't have a cheat meal, for a long time, honestly. Most cheat meals, I'll have people do cheat meals like just to keep their mental, for mental sake. And if it's realistic to have a cheat meal too, because if you're going out on the weekend with your family to have dinner or something, you're not gonna eat, you're not gonna bring your Tupperware to a family dinner on the weekend. So really like once every 2 weeks is a good just general baseline. But unless you're super lean and your fat loss is kind of stalled, most people honestly don't really need a cheat meal. So I always like to give this story. In 2013, I was doing North Americans prepping for a bodybuilding show. I started my diet 22 weeks out from the competition, and I literally had like 2 cheat meals the whole 22 weeks because it's not necessary to have the cheat meal unless you're super lean and unless you're like absolutely killing it and making great progress. Cheat meals are more for like sanity's sake and just like I said, just to work in your lifestyle. So once every 2 weeks is like a good general number for cheat meals. And my tip is don't go overboard. So I mean, I know when I did a cheat meal, I would go overboard a lot of times. So for tip for cheat meal is, eat whatever you want. Don't have like, just a steak and potato for cheat meal, but have like a burger, fries, dessert, or pizza, dessert. My tip is though, make sure you're eating protein during the cheat meal. Don't have a cheat meal of just like candy. Make sure you're getting some sort of protein. So, burger and fries, the burger's a lot of protein. Steak and fries, and a dessert, you got the steak of protein. Even a pizza, get like a meat lover's pizza. Like don't just eat a cheese pizza as your cheat meal. So always have some sort of protein in there, and then but have whatever you want. You don't gotta be strict about it. Next question, Jennifer Boyd. Do you believe in cutting out carbs for high fat like keto? And then she asked about cheat meals too, which I just kind of covered cheat meals. So, but do you believe in cutting out carbs for high fat like keto? So I'll give you guys my keto rant here. So my keto rant is, keto is a good diet, but I don't recommend it for everybody. And it's honestly not the best diet if your goal is performance-based or physique-based. Meaning if you're like playing a sport or running a race, or physique-based, wanting to compete in a competition, or like have a lot of muscle, or really have any significant amount of muscle. Keto diet is a good diet, but it's lacking carbohydrates. For those who don't know, ketogenic diet is a protein fat diet, so it's no carbohydrates, or at least trace carbs, very low. I think it's a good diet for people who are really overweight and don't really mind losing a little muscle in the process. For example, if you come to me and you're 300 pounds, 40% body fat, I may put you on a keto diet because you need to get your weight down just to be healthier. But if you come to me and you're 220 and already somewhat lean or have a lot of muscle, I'll probably have you do some sort of carb cycling diet or add some carbohydrates in there because you need carbohydrates to fuel your workout. So that's kind of my opinion on it. It works, but it's not for everybody. I like to do keto if you're really overweight or if you have a lot of fat to lose and aren't necessarily trying to be ripped and look good on the beach. You just want to, be healthier and just feel better. So I'm not against keto, but it's definitely not for everybody. Hunter Radin. Once again, if I butcher your name, I apologize. Hunter Radin. He has 2 questions too. How do you make time to eat 5 big meals a day, working 10-hour shifts with a 30-minute lunch break? Good question, bro. So, I worked at Walmart for like I've worked tons of odd jobs. I worked at Walmart for 2 years. I worked in a furniture warehouse. I was a dishwasher at my family's restaurant for a while. And it is hard if you're working a normal like 9 to 5 job or 9 to whatever job like that. It is hard to get your meals in, but you got to be prepared. So my advice would be on your 30-minute lunch break, obviously that's a meal, and then you need to eat on a 10-hour shift. You should be eating 3 meals. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna bring. If you're really hardcore, like when I was working at Walmart, I'd put chicken in my pockets and walk on the floor while I was working and pull out chicken from my pockets and eat. Obviously, I don't expect you guys to do that, but if you're working a 10-hour shift, you got a 30-minute lunch break. First of all, if you have a 30-minute lunch break, I'm assuming, I know at Walmart I had an hour lunch and then 2 15s. If you work a normal job like that, they're gonna give you 2 15s or something too, because people have smoke breaks all the time. But assuming you only get 1 break, what I would have you do is just have 2 shakes around it. So you'd have a shake and a piece of fruit or a shake and oatmeal or something like that, blend it into a blender and bring it to work. And then on your lunch break, you'd have a whole food meal where you sit down and eat a meal. But on a 10-hour shift, you definitely need to be eating 3 times. However you got to do it. You can remember on my plans, you can replace any meal with 1UP whey protein powder or any brand. But of course, I recommend 1UP Nutrition. The code is going to put my discount code right here or somewhere. Or a protein bar. And 1UP makes great protein bars too. So if you're on my plan, you can replace any meal with whey protein or a protein bar. I probably wouldn't have more than 1 protein bar a day though, simply because it is a little extra sugar and fat. But protein shakes, you can have 3, 4. You can have as many protein shakes as you want, really. So, second question: how do you increase appetite to be able to eat all 5 meals and get your macros in? This is a good question too, and this is something a lot of people ask me. It just takes time. So I'll refer back to another story when that 22 weeks out prep that I did. So when I did bodybuilding shows and prep for shows, I would always eat a lot of food and do a lot of activity, do a lot of exercise to burn off the calories, but I would always eat a lot of food to stay full, keep my muscles full, keep my strength, keep my size. And I remember that particular show, 22 weeks out, I started my diet and I didn't start getting hungry like for my meals until like 8 weeks out. So it took me 14 weeks to get hungry because I was eating so much clean food. Now, that was an extreme case because I was bodybuilding and bodybuilding is extreme, whatever. But it does take a little bit for a lot of people to get hungry. It depends on your metabolism. Some people are hungry right away, but the reason is because you're switching from eating, most likely, I'm not saying you in particular, Hunter, but most likely, most people, they're switching, when they hire me, they're switching from eating 1 to 2, 3 junk meals, whatever, and then they go to eating 5 clean meals. It's hard to eat that clean food. So sometimes it does take a little bit, but ways to increase your appetite, if you're not already doing 20 to 30 minutes of cardio, 5 to 6 days a week, cardio is going to help increase your appetite. In particular, doing that cardio first thing in the morning is going to increase your appetite because you're doing it on empty stomach and it kind of like revs the engine, so to speak. So doing cardio first thing in the morning is going to increase your appetite. And then, like I said, just over time, getting those meals in and getting at a leaner body weight, you're going to be hungrier. You're going to be hungrier for the food. But if you're my client and are having trouble eating your meals in, I always give people 3 choices. You can cut the portions in half for a little bit, or once again, replace any meal with a protein shake or protein bar. 1UP Nutrition, of course. All right, next question, Virginia Cisneros. Have you heard of that last name? Cisneros. All right, once again, I'm sorry if I butcher your name. All right, Virginia. How much of a difference would it take in my result, or how much of a difference would it make in my results if I don't take any of the supplements? Another super common question I get. Supplements are not required on my plan, but they do absolutely help. It's not, so I do include a supplement guide in my coaching plans. All that means is it's a list of supplements according to your goals and how to take them. So that's what supplement guide means. And the example I like to give is, so if you have 2 people, exact same body type, like if you cloned yourself, you got 2 people, exact same metabolism, body, goals, etc., weight. If you cloned yourself, one's taking say your goal is to burn fat. One's taking supplements, one's taking the fat burner, one's not. The person who's taking the fat burner is going to see results quicker, but over time, your results, as long as you put in the work, follow your plan, do everything needed, your results are going to be the same, if not similar. So supplements definitely increase, they give you results quicker, but they're not required. You can absolutely, the most important part to seeing good results is to follow your diet and workouts. Supplements just icing on the cake. So no, they're not required on my plans, but I do recommend, certain supplements according to your goals. Okay, next question, Peter Lipovic. Man, these last names are really getting me. All right, Peter, if I train a section of muscle and feel the burn during and at the end of the workout, but I don't get sore over the next few days, does that mean I've not worked hard enough? So basically, if I don't get sore, does that mean I had a bad workout? No, being sore is not the only indicator of a good workout. Usually if you're sore, for me, my chest will get sore, but right here, my legs typically get sore, but my back, arms, and shoulders don't really get sore, and they haven't for several years. Does it mean they're not growing, they're not getting stronger? No. Usually when you get sore, it's because you either did something different in your workout, like super high reps, or maybe you did some different exercises, or maybe you trained really long or really extra hard. So if you're sore, usually it's you did something different in your workout, but it doesn't mean you had a better workout per se. I hope that makes sense. And I think a lot of it's genetics too, because my shoulders are one of my strongest body parts, and they've never really gotten super sore. Shoulders don't really get sore, where your chest, the tie-in right here, gets sore for me. So no, it does not mean you had a bad workout, but if you got sore, it probably meant you hit some other you hit some muscle fibers that you probably haven't hit in a while, so you did something different. But I tell people, don't really worry about being sore. And while I'm on this question too, I'll give you guys some tips with another question. People say, I'm really sore, what can I do to speed up recovery? So I'm gonna give you guys a few quick tips here for if you're super sore and it's affecting your everyday life, or it's affecting your workouts and your recovery. Make sure you're eating enough protein, number one. That's number one. Make sure you eat enough protein. Number two is make sure you're resting / sleeping enough, 6 to 8 hours. 6 to 8 hours is plenty. Number three is try supplementing with branched chain amino acids, also glutamine. That's going to help you speed up your recovery. And then I also like to tell people, I call them advanced recovery techniques, which it's just, they cost money. It's more of a luxury thing. They're not for everybody, some people don't even have them in their area, but deep tissue massage helps recovery. What else do we got? Cryotherapy. If you follow me, I'm a huge believer in cryotherapy. All cryotherapy is, you get in the tank, it freezes to negative 230 degrees, negative 240 degrees. So it kind of shocks your body and helps speed up recovery. Because when you get out, your body's fighting to get back to normal, so it flows blood, so the blood flow is increased. Once again, I'm not a scientist. I'm just telling you based off experience and me doing it. I've been doing cryotherapy on and off for 2 years. So we got, massage, cryo, and then a really advanced technique is IV therapy, which is just they stick the IV in you, and it has vitamins, minerals, and even amino acids if you have a good doctor or you have the hookup on that. And that's more in bigger cities, but if you go to a doctor who's kind of forward thinking and sports performance based, they can give you an IV, and I used to do that all the time. I've done that plenty of times. So the IV, cryo, and deep tissue are kind of three advanced techniques to speed up recovery. All right, next question. Michael Kilburn. Do you count macros and calories, and would my calories and macros change if I work construction and burn a lot of calories? So let me answer the first question regarding macros and calories. My meal plan is a specific meal plan that's tailored for you. So it's meal by meal. I tell you exactly what to have. The reason I don't tell my clients macros or calories is simple, because if I tell you macros and calories, you're going to be more inclined just to hit those numbers. You're going to be more inclined just to hit those numbers instead of following your specific meal plan. So for example, if I tell you meal one, have 40 gram protein, 30 grams carbs, 10 fat, you're just going to try to hit those numbers and may eat whatever foods you want to get those numbers. And that's not what I believe in. I believe in eating specific foods, a strict meal plan to get the best results. So that's why I don't give macros or calories to clients, because they're just going to want to hit those numbers and not follow their specific plan. So that's kind of my reasoning behind that. I get that question a lot. If I work construction and burn a lot of calories, will the diet change? So here's how I approach that. So I approach that as I'll set you off on an initial plan, and you'll keep doing your thing, working construction, doing the workouts, etc. And then if I notice that the construction is kind of causing you to lose muscle or burn fat or lose weight, drop weight too quickly, then I'll make adjustments and add some extra food. But I'm probably not gonna make adjustments right away. The biggest thing with my plan is I give you an initial plan, and then when you check in, I see how your body responded and I make adjustments. So if that construction is, if you're losing weight too quickly, then I'd bump up your carbs. But you guys kind of play it by ear, like see how your body's responding. Next question, Michael Le Cavalier. Montreal, I believe. I believe Mike's from Montreal. He always DMs me on Instagram. What's up, Mike? Here's your question. Here's your answer. If you're doing a shred combined with bulk, can you increase cardio short term, like 4 weeks to lose extra fat, but maintain strength and muscle? So basically he's asking if you can do a mini cut. If you're doing a shred combined, a mini cut. I'm not a huge believer in mini cuts because my belief is that you should commit yourself to a cut and then go into a bulking period. So kind of a good analogy is don't chase two rabbits. When you chase two rabbits, you don't catch any. So you need to focus on one goal for a significant period of time, accomplish that goal. So in your case, shred for a little bit of time, accomplish that, get down to the body fat you want, and then start a bulk. Now, when you start the bulk, if you notice you're adding too much fat, I'd probably take away some of your food, maybe add a little cardio, but I wouldn't, ideally, you would do the bulk and not add the fat in the first place. Does that make sense? So, but a lot of people, when they bulk up, if you start adding unwanted fat, you would just lower your food and or add a little bit of cardio. But I believe in just chasing one goal. So, unless you're a newbie, a beginner, which Mike is not, but if you're a beginner, then you can add muscle, gain muscle, and lose body fat at the same time because your body is going to respond. It's just like a sponge. It's going to take in all that training and diet because you haven't been doing it. But for advanced people, if you've been training a while, pick one goal, stick with it for a little bit, and then reassess your physique. What do we got? Three more questions. Sarah Hutchinson. I would like to know your favorite go-tos. For example, maybe a favorite go-to meal or snack, favorite go-to workout, motivational song, supplement, etc. Thanks. Okay, so I'm going to answer. I'll do my favorite meal. Man, can it be a cheat meal? I'll tell you guys this. My favorite clean meal, probably teriyaki chicken and rice. There's lots of good places for that. Probably teriyaki chicken and rice, my favorite clean meal with a salad. I love salad. Favorite cheat meal? Man, burger and fries from Shake Shack has been my thing lately. I'd probably say that's my favorite cheat meal, honestly. Or nothing beats steak, wine, and a big dessert at a nice restaurant. That's also, one of my go-tos. Favorite go-to workout? I don't know what you mean by go-to workout, but my favorite body part to train is probably chest. Because when you train chest, your whole upper body gets pumped. Your chest, your shoulders, your triceps. I probably look the biggest in the gym when I'm training chest because I got a whole upper body pump. So I would say chest for favorite workout. Motivational song. I'm not really, I love music. I love like electronic music, EDM music, but I'm not really a motivational song guy. When I look for motivation through audio, whether I'm working out or doing cardio, I'll go to podcasts or just watch YouTube clips, and I'll name, I had three names in my head when I looked at this question. I'll name three guys. Okay, right here. So if you want some good podcast recommendations for business or motivation, motivation, Jocko Willink, he has a good podcast. He's like an ex-Marine, badass guy. Grant Cardone is like a sales guy. He'll motivate you to like live your best life for sure. And then of course, Gary Vee, who will talk about everything. So those three guys I recommend for like podcasts and motivational. It's business, but it's life too. Supplement. Man, my favorite supplement, my go-to supplement is by far multivitamin. Multi-Go is the one-up nutrition version. They have male and female, but multivitamin for sure. I've been taking a multivitamin since I was 15 years old, right when I started working out. I remember my mom got me on the GNC Sport one, like literally when I was 15, so 15 years ago. So, and that's all I was taking. I was taking the vitamin C I've also been taking for a long time, and whey protein powder. But the multivitamin, if you could take one supplement or vitamin, whatever, take a multivitamin because it's going to make sure the multivitamin is basically an insurance policy that you get all your vitamins and minerals in that you may not be having through food, getting through food. So you're going to feel way better. It's not like it's a drastic effect, but I'm telling you, it helps improves your overall health, your overall well-being. You're just going to feel better, and your body's going to function at an optimal optimally with the multivitamin. So my go-to supplement is by far a multivitamin. All right, good questions. We got 2 more questions. Another keto one. Justin Elam, can you build muscle and strength using the keto diet? Man, yes, you can. I mean, you can do anything. You know, you can do anything, but nothing's impossible. But it's going to be a lot harder to build muscle on a keto diet than if you were having carbohydrate. The reason being, I kind of explained a little before, your muscles are filled up with water and glycogen being carbohydrate. So if you're lacking carbohydrate in your body, your muscles aren't going to be filled up and fueled for your workout. So it's going to be harder to repair them and to, in turn, grow bigger. So I will say it's going to be harder to build muscle and strength. And if you come to me with the goal of building muscle and strength, unless you like beg and are absolutely want a keto diet, I'm probably gonna give you a diet with carbohydrates. So I would say yes, it's possible, but it's not ideal. There you go. It's not ideal. All right, last question. Here we go. Caleb, it's just an email. CalebFever4@gmail. There has been a lot of studies about volume, and I'm curious about your research and experience. How much do you really need? Sets per week. Good question. Man, so I could talk a little about this too. So when you say volume, I would ask, what do you consider volume? I've always believed in doing about anywhere from 12 to 20 sets per body part, which may not seem like high volume to some people. I remember when I was in Columbia, Missouri, and I was personal training, I met a guy who had a really good physique. He came up to me and showed me his workout. He was doing like 10 to 12 exercises per body part, like 3 to 4 sets each. I was like, bro, what are you doing? You're doing like 40 sets for shoulders. It was crazy. So I don't recommend doing that much. I recommend doing about 12 to 20 sets. I don't do the HIIT style training for weight training, me personally. HIIT training is like Dorian Yates style, Mike Mentzer, if you follow bodybuilding. It's where you do a couple warm-up sets, then you do one heavy set, and your volume is super, super low. So I do believe in doing a little higher volume just to get the blood flowing, get the maximum pump. And I'm going to answer this question, I'm going to leave it with this. A really good analogy is once you explode a piece of dynamite, you can't re-explode it. So once you get a good pump in the gym, go home, eat, don't continue to chase that pump. But for me, it ends up being around 12 to 20 sets. I always like to start lighter and gradually increase weight each set. But like for arms, I'll do 12 to 15 for 12 to 15 for bicep, 12 to 15 tricep. For chest, I'll do like 16 to 20, but I rarely go above like 20 sets for everything unless it's legs or back. But in general, 12 to 20. Okay, that's all the questions. If you made it this far, thank you so much. This shirt, if you're watching this video, these shirts are either available for pre-order or for sale or sold out, depending on when you watch it. I'll put the link in below and comment. Let me know what you think. Peace.